A dark idea supposedly explains why Angelina Meyer is so significant in Season 4 of Manifest. The Holly Taylor-played figure is assuming the role of the season's main antagonist, and we're all here for it. Additionally, the most sinister theory involving the passing of Cal and Grace was avoided in Manifest Season 4 Part 1, but why? Well, there's been a lot of doubt about the genuine motives of the Callings due to the events surrounding Grace's death and the timing of Cal's entrance on the scene. So what is this dark theory surrounding Angelina? Also, why did Manifest avoid this huge theory in their most recent season? Let's take a closer look. First up, a very dark, complex theory surrounds why Angelina is so important. A dark theory has been put forth that explains why Angelina Meyer is so significant in Season 4 of Manifest. The Holly Taylor-played figure portrays the role of the season's main antagonist. In addition to being violent in the Season 3 finale, Angelina has now established herself as a danger to humanity. Angelina is an issue for the passengers on Flight 828 that just doesn't seem ever to go away. With the Omega Sapphire at her disposal, the show has transformed her into a villain on a totally new level, as if her efforts to kidnap Eden weren't evil enough already. Now, as the seasons have progressed, Angelina has become a far greater menace to Ben and Grace than they could have ever anticipated, as a result of what began as a sick, misguided fascination with their kid. How mistaken Cal was about her part in their fate in Season 3 is further evidenced by how she has evolved in the series. But there's a dark idea that has dire repercussions for Manifest's future that suggests Cal had a legitimate reason for believing Angelina was so significant. So let's take a closer look at some of these ideas. Firstly, the Callings ultimately enabled Angelina in Season 3 of Manifest. It will be a direct result of the Callings if Angelina is the one who brings about the end of the world. Olive rightfully blamed Cal for killing Grace in the flashbacks of Season 4, but it shouldn't be overlooked that his mistakes are primarily the fault of the Callings. After all, Cal felt confident in Angelina because the Callings had convinced him that she was a friend. Grace might still be alive, and Eden would not have been abducted if Cal had not pushed his family to keep her around and given her the house key. If it were the case, her whole Season 4 plot, including the theft of the Omega Sapphire, would not have taken place. Basically, she would not have the storyline she does today. Additionally, it was because of the Callings that the main protagonists were able to rescue her from her parents in the first place. In Season 3 of Manifest, Angelina would only have accepted their invitation to move in with them if the Callings had sent Michaela and the others to her door. All evidence points to the Callings having supported Angelina all along, and it is difficult to think this was all just one big mistake. The divine awareness also has everything to do with the circumstance she found herself in at the end of Manifest Season 4 Part 1 finale, because that was a step towards her obtaining the Omega Sapphire. Next, does the divine consciousness want the apocalypse to occur? Given all that has occurred up to this point, it is plausible to assume that the divine awareness now desires the end of the world, and maybe Angelina is the vessel that will make it happen. The fact that a higher power would pick someone like Angelina to get the Callings and make Cal believe she is significant can only be explained by the fact that she has a specific mission to accomplish. If so, everything that has happened to Angelina may have been the Callings' method of gradually bringing about the world's end. This would proceed if Manifest connected its narrative to Noah's Ark in Season 3. It's possible that God willed the deluge in the Bible, just as he willed the disaster in 2024. Furthermore, many viewers suspect that the Omega and Angeline Sapphire Shard may be tools from the divine consciousness. But what do you think? Finally, are the passengers meant to stop Angelina, or is it their fate? The plans the Heavenly Awareness has for the passengers is a problem with the idea that it wants the world to perish. But why? If it wants Mount Ararat to erupt and wipe out the planet, would it direct them towards preserving the lifeboat? Some pretty big mixed signals there. TJ and Olive could piece together at least a fraction of the higher power's grand scheme by decoding the Egyptian prophecy. We know that Cal appears to be the dragon, a character who can tilt the scales. They then discovered that because Cal is the dragon, they have the power to end the world's suffering. But this assertion has yet to be supported by any actual evidence, just speculation. Now, Cal's new abilities are obviously intended for a critical task, but specifics still need to be explained. The connection to Noah's Ark may provide one solution to this particular conundrum. The divine intelligence may wish the passengers to be the only survivors of the volcanic disaster, much like how God spared Noah and his family and provided them with a pathway towards rebuilding human civilization in the Bible. Now, Cal may be intended to find a way for the passengers to survive what will happen rather than using his talents to stop Angelina. However, how that might be accomplished and what will play out is still being determined. Now, while we are on the topic of Manifest, Manifest, it appears that Season 4 totally avoided disproving one of its darkest theories. But how so? Let's take a closer look. The most sinister theory involving the passing of Cal and Grace was avoided in Manifest Season 4 Part 1. There's been a lot of doubt about the genuine motives of the Callings due to the events surrounding Grace's death and the opportune timing of Cal's entrance on the scene. In fact, it's been argued that Grace's death may not have just been the result of a mindless murder or a series of expensive mistakes made by the characters. There was a prevailing belief that the Callings wanted Grace dead due to the Manifest Season 3 finale events. The main supporting evidence for this was Cal's erroneous defense of Angelina and the unintentional part he took in her murder. It should not be forgotten that Cal and the other passengers believed they were obligated to save Angelina because of the Callings, but by doing so, they really created the conditions for Grace's death in the climax. Manifest Season 4 Part 1 skirted addressing Olive's question about Cal helping Angelina and never addressed the idea that the divine awareness utilized the Callings to plan Grace's demise. Now, do the Callings want Grace to die? For Manifest Season 4 Part 2, the unresolved issues involving Cal and Angelina keep the prospect of Grace's demise as a component of a divine plan on the table. Even though this information would be horrifying, it is possible that the divine awareness saw Grace Stone's passing as a crucial turning point in the lives of the passengers on Flight 828. It's possible that Grace's death required Cal and Ben to wind up where they are now. While on the topic of Manifest, will there be a 5th season? Well, unfortunately not. Now, fans were heartbroken when NBC canceled the science fiction series Manifest after just 3 seasons because they would never find out what had happened to the passengers of Flight 828. However, thankfully, the TV show was miraculously revived for a 4th season by Netflix, which intervened and debuted on November 4th. But now, of course, eager viewers want to know if they'll get a second chance and if Netflix will pick up the show for a 5th season. Is there a 5th season of Manifest? Sadly, no, there won't be a 5th season of Manifest. The show was only resurrected for one more season when Netflix revived it after NBC had canceled it. But don't be too concerned, the show is still going on. On November 4th, the first 10 episodes of Manifest Season 4 were released on Netflix. There are still another 10 episodes to come. Although Manifest Season 4 Part 2 doesn't currently have a release date, it will likely be available on Netflix in the first half of 2023 based on Netflix's prior release schedule. Now, if you are obsessed with Manifest and need something else similar to curb your craving, check these shows out. First up, The Leftovers. The Leftovers occurred just 3 years after the sudden departure, in which 2% of the world's population mysteriously disappeared. Following the incident, the people of Mapleton, New York, under the direction of Police Chief Kevin Garvey, struggle with their losses while attempting to go on. While both The Leftovers and Manifest have disappearances, The Leftovers is different in scope and skews more on the psychological effects of the incident than the actual supernatural occurrence. The Leftovers look to religion largely for guidance. At the end of the 2010s, the show was among the top 10 lists of the greatest shows of the decade. Next up, of course, Lost. Lost follows the survivors as they investigate the enigmatic island they've landed on, following the crash of an aircraft traveling from Sydney to Los Angeles. As the series progresses, more and more concerns regarding their origins and the island's past surface. According to Reddit, one of the most perplexing TV episodes, Lost has a lot in common with Manifest, including the disappearance of a plane, strange happenings, and a web of affected characters. The disappearances of Manifest and lost planes lead to time travel that impacts the passengers. With a divisive series finale, Lost 6 seasons garnered a sizable following. Lastly, we recommend watching the OG classic X-Files. Fox Mulder, an alien enthusiast, and Dana Scully, a medical professional and skeptic, are FBI agents who appear in the X-Files. Together, they seek to resolve open X-File instances and reach a resolution on their puzzling phenomena. The X-Files is positioned adjacent to Manifest and investigates mysteries related to disappearances, the paranormal, and those impacted by the unknown. Mulder's overarching search for information regarding extraterrestrial life is also featured in the X-Files, comparable to Olive's experiences with her missing brother Cal on Manifest. Mulder's motivation for this search is the childhood disappearance of his sister. Over the course of its existence, the program had 11 seasons, 2 features, and a great deal of positive critical and viewer reception. Unfortunately, guys, this is all the time we had for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.